Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 powerful ways in order for you to avoid self-sabotage. But before that, I would like to ask you this question. Have you ever wondered why every time you're close to success, there's something inside you that holds you back? It's like a voice whispering inside you, saying, you can't do it, even if you know you can, right? That's self-sabotage, the silent enemy that stops you from reaching your full potential. But today, let's break that cycle and let's talk about the 5 powerful ways in order for you to avoid that self-sabotage and finally become your biggest supporter. So here are the 5 steps or ways. Okay, so way number 1 is to recognize your negative patterns. You should recognize that negative patterns. The very first step is awareness. Be aware of that patterns and ask yourself, do I always procrastinate when I'm close to success? Or do I doubt myself even if I know that I'm doing well? You can change what you don't notice. Once you recognize your patterns, like overthinking, fear, or avoidance, you can interrupt them before they take control. Okay, step number 2 or way number 2 is set realistic and specific goals. Be specific with your goals. Okay? So sometimes we sabotage ourselves by setting bigger goals or vague goals, right? So stop doing that. Instead, break large goals into smaller steps, doable steps. And then, every achievement, let's celebrate it, even if it is small or the smallest kind of achievement in your whole life. And then, for example, instead of saying, I'll be successful, try saying, I'll finish this task today. I'm gonna do this task today. And I'm gonna finish it right now, today. So small progress builds confidence and momentum. Right? Okay, step number 3 or the way number 3 is replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Be compassionate with yourself, guys. Stop being your own worst enemy. We tend to create that character inside us. We are creating that kind of enemy, the worst enemy. It is the worst enemy that we can have in our lives, ourselves. So, when you make a mistake, talk to yourself like you're talking to a friend. Like, you're using good and friendly words. You are using friendly actions. You're using friendly voice. Like, hi friend, what are you doing? You can also say to yourself, hey self, what are you doing? Are you okay? You can do that. You're not getting crazy. It's checking yourself if you're doing all right. Remember yourself or remind yourself that progress is better than perfection. Okay? Always remind yourself that progress is always better than perfection. Don't always be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, right? Even if the millionaires or the billionaires around the world, they're not perfect at all. They tend to make mistakes because mistakes are part of success. Remember that. You cannot hate yourself into becoming a better person. Because better persons don't hate themselves. They love themselves first. So ask yourself, do you love yourself? Okay, so step number 4. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Ask yourself where your doubts come from or where it originated. You're always talking to yourself, I'm not good enough, or I always fail, or I don't deserve success. Like, oh my god, everyone deserves to be successful, right? And you deserve to be successful as well. And these are just thoughts. Remember that, not fact. Just thoughts, just only in your mind. It only exists in your mind. So stop doing that. Replace them with empowering beliefs like I'm learning, I'm empowering, or I'm improving. And you can also say, I can handle this. I can handle this. This is the sentences or the words you can say to yourself in order for you to be empowered, to be, to be better or to feel better. And replace them with good and positive thoughts. So, okay, number five step, the last but not the least, take action even if you don't feel ready. Every one of us saying, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I don't have any knowledge about that. I don't have practice. You know, there's no exact time for success. Maybe this is the right time, right? So take that action. Self sabotage often hides behind overthinking and fear of failure. You know, it is validated. Being scared or being fear or having that fear of failure is part of who we are. And that is validated. You know, the best way to break it is to act. Take small steps forward, even if you feel scared or uncertain. Everyone feels scared or uncertain, right? Even, you know, even you feel like you're ready, you always feel uncertain because there's this thoughts in our mind that saying we can be perfect. Yes, we can't be perfect. That's why we try, right? It's better to try always. It's better to try all the time in order for you to gain that lessons in life. And remember, actions builds confidence and hesitation feeds doubt. Don't hesitate. When you're doing something, don't hesitate. Do it with full confidence. Do it with full positive thoughts. And the bonus tip, surround yourself with supportive, positive people because their energy can affect your mindset, right? It can affect your whole mood. It can change the way you think about life or the way you are thinking right now or you're currently thinking right now because you know being with positive people can radiate their energy towards you and you can also be positive. And that's all for today, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell